Isang mapagpalang oras po sa ating lahat. Ito nga muli ang inyong kasama si Dion at ito po ang aking RPMS portfolio for this school year. Binabati ko nga po pala ang aking master teacher na si Ma'am Aida L. Gabiana as well as my energetic and hardworking principal Dr. Imelda F. Quinones. Magandang araw po sa ating lahat. At kung gusto niyo pong makakuha ng PowerPoint presentation ng ating ipapakitang video po ngayon, maaari po kayong mag-direct message po sa ating FB page, Dion Mayos Channel. Dion Mayos Channel lang po. Doon po kayong mag-message. Alright? Objective 1. Applied knowledge of content within and across curriculum teaching areas. Ang actual na MOV na ginamit po dito ay ang aking rating sheet. So, I demonstrated level 7 as shown in my COT Indicator 1 ratings. Aside po sa COT, meron po tayong complemented picture. The picture shows that I was giving instructions indicating occurrence of follow-through, monitoring, etc. via weekly online kumustahan. So, hindi lang po naka-module ang mga bata, kinukumusta po natin sila via weekly online kumustahan. Objective 2. Use research-based knowledge and principles of teaching and learning to enhance professional practice. MOV. I used this lesson plan during my first classroom observation. I use research-based in all the components of instruction. Ang components of instruction ay learning objectives, instructional activities, as well as assessment. Ito naman po ang annotation para sa learning objectives. In the objective, the key words used were describe and illustrate. According to Bloom's taxonomy, describing and illustrating are the lowest level of knowledge. However, understanding the basics or the lowest level before moving to the more complex or high level of learning is necessary. Students will understand the concept of the topic better by knowing the basics, lower level of knowledge before moving to the next level. Ito naman po ang annotation for instructional activities. In the activity, I utilized dancing TikTok moves as an expression to show the importance of parallel, intersecting, and perpendicular lines in our daily lives. So ayon sa espesyalista, learning through creativity and intelligence don't just come from the brain alone, but from the entire body. Movement combinations increase memory, order, and sequencing skills. Creating dances also increases self-esteem, which is so very important to learning. Ito naman po ang annotation para sa assessment. In the assessment, I utilize multiple choices. According po sa article na ito, why should my child practice multiple choice math problems? When your child uses math in real life, she is not going to have a choices of answers. However, most states standardized tests include multiple choice math problems because it's the most efficient way to administer the test. If your child practices solving multiple choice math problems, she may be better prepared and perform better on standardized tests. In addition, encourage her to practice problem-solving techniques such as process of elimination. Objective 3. Displayed proficient use of mother tongue, Filipino English to facilitate teaching and learning. Ang MOV po dito ay ang aking COT rating. I demonstrated level 7 as shown in my COT Indicator 2 ratings. Kino-complement po ng picture na ito. I used mother tongue, Filipino, and English to facilitate teaching and learning. Unfamiliar words were explained clearly. The pictures further show that I was giving instructions indicating occurrence of follow-through, monitoring, etc. during the weekly retrieval submission of learning activities. So, doon po natin in-explain kung may mga hindi po sila naiintindihan. Pinipilipino po natin yung mga dapat nating i-explain para mas maintindihan po ng bata. Objective 4. Use effective verbal and non-verbal classroom communication strategies to support learner understanding, participation, engagement, and achievement. MOV, dalawang rating sheet po. I demonstrated level 7 as shown in my COT Indicator 3 ratings. It is complemented in this picture that During the face-to-face classes, I use verbal and non-verbal communication strategies, maximizing oral recitation and body gestures. If this communication is not enough, then I usually visit my students in their respective residences for follow-up, monitoring, etc. to support student understanding, participation, engagement, and achievement. Objective 5. Establish safe and secure learning environments to enhance learning through the consistent implementation of policies, guidelines, and procedures. So, ang atin pong MOV ay dalawang rating sheets. So, I demonstrated level 6 as shown in my COT indicator for ratings. Despite po na 6 po ang ating rating po sa COT, meron po tayong complemented pictures na nagpapakita. The pictures show that I was presenting the SBA LCP of the school indicating occurrence of monitoring, etc. Its main objective is to establish safe and secure learning environments to enhance learning through its consistent implementation. Strong participation of parents as well as stakeholders was highly encouraged. So during the virtual orientation sa aking klase, ito po ang pinresent po natin. Objective 6. Maintain learning environments that promote fairness, respect, and care to encourage learning. Ang atin pong MOV ay dalawang rating sheet. I demonstrated level 7 as shown in my COT indicator, 5 ratings. Kino-complement po ng dalawang picture po na ito, project visits. Project visits show that I maintained learning environments that promote fairness, respect, and care to encourage learning by indicating occurrence of follow-through, monitoring, etc. So dito po sa project visits po na ito po ay personal po nating ginawang project para ma-monitor at ma-encourage po ang mga bata na mag-aral para maiwasan ang dropout rate ng school. Objective 7. Maintain learning environments that nurture and inspire learners to participate, cooperate, and collaborate in continued learning. Ang ating MOV po ay dalawang rating sheets. I demonstrated level 7 as shown in my COT indicator 6 ratings. Kino-complement po ng picture na ito ang ating score. The pictures show that I maintained learning environments that nurture and inspire students to participate, cooperate, and collaborate in continued and indicating occurrence of follow-through, monitoring by utilizing the use of different slide deck and other learning materials. So dito po, ang una, yung nasa taas po ay gumawa po tayo ng PowerPoint presentation na nakasaksak sa TV, and then sa second one ay video naman po, video lesson. Objective 8, applied a range of successful strategies that maintain learning environments that motivate learners to work productively by assuming responsibility of their own learning. Ang main MOV po natin dito ay ang dalawang rating sheets po natin, and I demonstrated level 7 as shown in my COT indicator 7 ratings. Ang ating score ay nako-complement po ng dalawang picture po na ito. The pictures show that I applied successful strategy that maintained learning environment by giving bonus stickers that motivated the student to work productively by assuming responsibility of her own learning. It shows the occurrence of follow-through, monitoring, etc. Ito po ay nakita ko po very effective po ito sa mga bata. Mahilig po sila at gustong-gusto po nila na mabigyan ng stickers. Kaya nakikita po natin sa picture na motivate ang bata na mag-learn independently sa kanilang bahay. Objective 9. Designed, adopted, and implemented teaching strategies that are responsive to learners with disabilities, giftedness, and talents. Ang ating pong main MOV po dito ay ang dalawang rating sheets. So I demonstrated level 6 as shown in my COT indicator 8 ratings. Though 6 ang score po natin sa COT, ang picture po na ito ay nagpapakita na I participated in crafting slacks in order to design, adapt, and implement teaching strategies that are responsive to learners with disabilities, giftedness, and talents. The second picture shows that I encourage my student to attend school activities to showcase her talent. It further shows that there is an occurrence of follow-through, monitoring, etc. to the student. So in fact, nanalo po ang batang yan sa English activity po nila. Objective 10. adapted and use culturally appropriate teaching strategies to address the needs of learners from indigenous groups. Ang main MOV po dito ay dalawang rating sheets and I demonstrated level 6 as shown in my COT indicator 9 ratings. Though 6 ang score po natin sa COT, dito sa dalawang picture na ito, complemented pictures, it shows that Barangay Bagtas is a mixture of different ethnic backgrounds or origins. The pictures show that I use home visitation as a strategy to address the needs of learners from indigenous groups. Home visitation indicates the occurrence of follow-through, monitoring, etc. So, si teacher din po ay isa sa mga indigenous group. So, I belong to the indigenous group. Proud to be Igorot from Cordillera. So, I know the best strategy sa pag-address ng needs ng learners, especially coming from indigenous group. Objective 11, adopted and implemented learning programs that ensure relevance and responsiveness to the needs of all learners. Ang MOV po natin dito ay ang ILMP or Individual Learning Monitoring Plan na ginamit po natin. Dito po sa ILMP, makikita po natin dito ang mga least mastered competencies na nakikita po natin sa learner's need. So, in the intervention strategies provided, makikita na rin po natin doon sa 1, 2, 3, 4th column as well as sa learner's status mula insignificant progress hanggang mapunta siya sa mastery. Alright? The proof of evaluation is the ILMP showing the strategies implemented during the DLDM this school year. The said set of strategy or interventions ensured relevance and responsiveness to the needs of all learners. Alright, makikita din po natin dito ang mga iba't ibang nagaganap. So, in this area, we have significant progress hanggang napunta po siya sa mastery. Ito po yung mga pictures na nag-complement doon sa mga strategies na ginamit po natin. The proof of evaluation is the ILMP showing the strategies implemented during the DLDM this school year. So, makikita po natin dito na ang teacher, tayo po, ginawa po natin ang ating makakaya to implement learning programs and ensure relevance and responsiveness of all the needs of all learners. So, example, makita po natin dito sa unang picture na pinuntahan po natin ang bata kasi hindi po makapunta kasi ang kanyang parent ay nagtatrabaho at walang mag-aasikaso sa kanya. The second picture, if you are going to look at the picture, nakasando po ako dyan and sa labas ay madilim na madilim dahil kalagitnaan po yan ng gabi. So, nakiusap po itong parent na pupunta sa bahay kasi yun lang po ang time kasi nagtatrabaho po sila. And then, I opened my house, ang aking bahay, para makater po natin ang lahat ng uri ng estudyante. Ito pong picture po na ito ay ILMP Evaluation Monitoring. Ito po ay ginagawa po namin as part of weekly kumustahan with our master teacher. So, we are very glad that our master teacher is very humble and very industrious, si Ma'am Aida Gabiana. And then, nakikita po dito na lahat po kami ay tinatanong talaga kung ginagawa ho natin itong mga naka-indicate na strategies doon sa aming ILMP. And we present all the evidences sa aming master teacher sa pamamagitan po ng Google Meet meeting. Objective 12. Utilize assessment data to inform the modification of teaching and learning practices and program. Okay, ang ginamit po nating MOV po dito ay ang Project 311221 for Learning 1 version 2.0. Ito po ay pangalawang taon na po natin itong ginagawa as to see the least mastered competencies ng mga student sa mga iba't ibang subject na meron po sila. So, makikita po natin dito sa root cause, meron po ditong English, Filipino, at saka sa susunod na slide ay ibang mga subjects. So, ginagawa po natin ito to cater the least mastered skills. At saka ginagawan po namin ito ng activities para ma-meet ang mga kinakailangang skill na kailangang pakita ng bata. We also have science, math, araling panlipunan, EPP, ASP, and of course, we have the Project 311221 for Learning 1 version 2.0. Ito po yung mga write-up or narrative report ng ating project. So, ano ba itong 311221? So, it says here, in response to DepEd Order Number 12, 2021 entitled Amendment to DepEd Number 30 Series 2020, Paragraph 3 states that from March 1 to March 12, 2021, schools shall conduct intervention and remediation activities based on the unique needs of the learners and determined through the results of different forms of assessment administered for the past 2 quarters and in consonance to the region's T-governance to enable every school-age child and youth to benefit from quality basic education services amidst COVID-19 pandemic. Thus, ito po, Project 311 or March 1 to 12, 2021 for Learning One's Birth. Yun po ang dahilan kung bakit meron po tayong Project 311221 version 2. Ito po yung accomplishment. Kung makikita po natin, the second graph shows the number of target learners who made it during the implementation of the project. Based on the graph, only 38 or 88.37 out of 43 target learners had significantly improved during the implementation of the project. The remaining 5 or 11.63% learners did not show improvement during the implementation of the project. The significant improvement made by the 38 or 88.37 learners could be associated with the effort made by the teachers to recalibrate the activities intervention mentioned in the action plan of this project through home visitation, video calls, phone calls, and other possible means of bringing education to everyone. Ito naman po ang mga pictures na ginagawa po natin sa Project 311221. Project 311221 version 2.0 shows the list of identified lists, mastered skills based on the frequency of error, correct responses with accomplishment report or remedial enhancement activities, and photo documentation was provided. Objective 13. Maintained learning environments that are responsive to community contexts. Ang atin pong MOV po dito sa objective na ito ay Project Pandemic Action Plan School Year 2021-2022. Ano po itong Project Pandemic na ito? Conduct Project Pandemic, family and neighbors doing extra effort in molding their child to improve reading and comprehension. So makikita po natin dito sa objective na ito or sa project na ito na may pagtutulungan po ang community, a wider community, internal and external stakeholders. Ang internal po dito ay ang mga teachers and the external ay mga parent at mga neighbors na nagtutulungan para mapaayos ang reading and comprehension po ng mga bata. So, sa accomplishment report po, anchored to school project ba sa Pagtasenyo, this classroom-based reading project was conducted to cater learners having trouble in reading. It is collaborated with the community stakeholders, the neighbors, and maintain a learning environment responsive to community context, focusing on reading, etc. and etc. Kino-complement po ng picture na ito ang project kung saan mga neighbors as well as teachers ay nagtutulungan para sa project. Project Pandemic collaborated with the community stakeholders in the implementation, completion of a program, project, and or activity that maintains a learning environment responsive to community context, focusing on reading. Photo documentation was provided. Objective 14. Reviewed regularly personal teaching practice using existing laws and regulations that apply to the teaching profession and the responsibilities specified in the Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers. Okay, sa video po na ito or sa picture po na ito, makikita po natin dito na tayo po mismo ang gumawa ng video recording on teaching that shows impact of regularly reviewing one's teaching practices. Okay? So tayo po mismo, hindi po natin ito kinopy sa YouTube, sa ibang sources, bagkus tayo po ang gumawa. If you like to watch this one, meron po tayong video nito sa aking YouTube channel. Puntahan nyo po sa Dion Miles channel sa YouTube. Ito po ang annotation. The Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers, Article 4, Section 2 states that every teacher shall uphold the highest possible standards of quality education, shall make the best preparations for the career of teaching, and shall be at his best at all times in practice of his profession. As a licensed teacher, it is always my practice to excel in teaching. In this objective, I utilize the use of the video for my students appreciate the lesson that I am teaching in their math class. I've been consistent to embody this section of the Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers in my teaching. For my students to watch the said lesson, I uploaded it in my YouTube channel. Further, I strongly believe that the use of instructional videos will enhance and uplift the learning skills of the students even in times of health crisis. In addition, developing and utilizing video lesson will exhibit an improved practice as the impact of regularly reviewing teaching practices, using laws and regulations that apply to the profession and the responsibilities in the Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers. The picture shows and affirms that the awardee is consistent in his practice, embodying Article 4, Section 2 of the Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers. Objective 15. Complied with and implemented school policies and procedures consistently to foster harmonious relationship with learners, parents, and other stakeholders. Ang atin pong MOU po dito ay a certificate. So it says here that I involved as speaker on SBLCP of the school that sustained engagement with learners and parents on school policies and procedures during the 2021 Bellevue Meadows Subdivision Homeowners General Assembly. Narrative report: Bellevue Meadows Subdivision is the home of families with different socioeconomic status. Most residents are coming from the different provinces of the country. Residents reside in Bellevue due to its strategic location for business, job, and education. Last November 7, 2021, Bellevue Meadows teachers, the ABDRMES teacher representatives, in partnership with Barangay LGU through the Homeowners Association, held its General Assembly. It discussed the school's basic education learning continuity plan of the school. The different parts of the SBLCP were discussed thoroughly. It also discussed the future of the school to hold limited face-to-face classes. After the presentation of SBELCP, questions were answered as well as unclarified issues on printed modular distance learning was given clarity. Yours truly and Ma'am De Mesa facilitated the General Assembly. More than 500 residents attended the said assembly. Here is the picture of the General Assembly. Objective 16. Applied a personal philosophy of teaching that is learner-centered. Ito po yung lesson plan na ginamit po natin. Constructivism as one of my philosophies in teaching is being reflected on the objectives that I used during my teaching demo. It reflects the philosophy on constructivism because the verbs used like describe, illustrate, draw example, and appreciate recognizes the fact that learners construct knowledge based on their beliefs and experiences rather than passively take in information. Ito naman po ang part ng learning activities. Constructivism as one of my philosophies in teaching reflected in the instructional activities that I used during my teaching demo. Alright? Yan po. At saka sa assessment po, ito naman po ay ginamit po natin sa ating lesson. The assessment part recognized the fact that learners construct knowledge based on their belief and experiences rather than passively take in information as seen in the evaluation part. Students were able to do the assessment themselves. Objective 17. Adopted practices that uphold the dignity of teaching as a profession by exhibiting qualities such as caring attitude, respect, and integrity. In this picture, ito po ay screenshot of chat with learner or parent affirming dignity of teaching as profession. May I read the example? She said, "Thank you po sir sa lahat po ng pagod just to complete the activity of students and parents as well. May kulang man po because of the pandemic. Nagampanan po ang tungkulin ng bawat isa. Looking forward for your promotion. A big salute sir. God bless." The picture shows that I received numerous awards and recognition during the first Gawad Maroon Eagles. The award was given by the school head as per the recommendation of the master teacher. Thank you po, ma'am. Meron din po tayong nare-receive na positive feedback from different teachers all over the country. I was able to share my video presentation sa ating YouTube. Kaya meron po silang nire-request at andun po yung kanilang mga comment. Alright? Thank you po. Objective 18. Set professional development goals based on the PPST. Alright, ito naman po ang ating development plans. So, meron po tayong strength, development needs, action plan, timeline, resources needed. So, ang una po dyan, the first half ay functional competencies. Okay? And the second half po ay core behavioral competencies. So, makikita po natin dito na meron po tayong updated na DP. And the last objective, objective 19, perform various related works, activities that contribute to the teaching-learning process. Ang isa pong ginamit po nating MOV ay authorship sa isang research. So, mapalad po tayo na ang ating research ay nakuha sa International Congress on Action Research, Action Learning. So, author po tayo sa isang research entitled Improving Skills in Multiplication through Stick Multiplication, an Option for Home Education. Thank you po, Lasal. Another MOV po ay nag-coach po tayo during the 2021 District Offline Literacy Caravan in celebration of National Book and Literacy Weeks. So, bata po natin yung kinoach po natin. We are also a member of the Cavite Association of Research Educators and became CAME or Quality Assurance in Monitoring and Evaluation Chairman during the 2021 Virtual School-Based Reading Caravan. At kung interesado kang makakuha ng PowerPoint presentation at makakuha ng ibang materials na ginamit ko din, direct message lang po sa ating FB page, Dion Mayos Channel. Dion Mayos Channel, pag-usapan natin ito.